What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great start to your Friday. So before we get into today's commentary, I want to encourage you guys to go ahead and hit that like button for your boy. I appreciate the love and support. So today we're going to talk about Russell Simmons suing his ex-wife and Kimora Lee Simmons for allegedly stealing stocks to pay her current husband's bail fees. Crazy, right? And so Russell had no inclination that this was going on until his accountant noticed that there were suspicious transactions that was going down within his business account. So the word is Russell tried to handle this behind the scenes like grown-ups and come to some type of agreement, but Kimora nor her current husband would comply. So now Russell is suing for $44 million. And ironically, that is how much it took to keep Kimora's current husband out of jail. In 2018, he pleaded guilty to money laundering. So I guess Kimora loved that man so much that she decided to steal from her ex-husband. And now Russell is like, yo, I know I put you through a lot of stuff, but right now,
give me my god money.
Now, $44 million, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. So I expect this to get super messy. So guys, I want to read to you all real quick what People magazine had to say about this situation. I'm just going to read a snippet. All right, it says Russell Simmons is suing his ex-wife Kimora Lee Simmons and her current husband Tim Leissner. In a complaint filed earlier this week and obtained by People, Simmons, who is 63, alleged that Lee, who is 46, and Leissner, who is 49, conspired to make a fraudulent transfer of Simmons' nearly 4 million shares of energy drink company SUES in order to pay for Leissner's legal and bail fees related to a 2018 money laundering case. According to the complaint, Simmons attempted to resolve the issues amicably to avoid filing a lawsuit. In a letter to Lee quoted in the complaint, Simmons asked that she help reaffirm his 50% of SUES shares. Throughout my entire decades-long partnership with you, I've done everything and anything to protect and promote our family. I have never said no to any request and have always gone against my own counsel to offer up much more than any judge would ever require of me in order to keep the peace, he allegedly wrote before adding, I am shocked and saddened to see how your side has behaved in response to my repeated attempts to get an agreement from you to rightfully and legally reaffirm my 50% of the SUES shares, which have been locked up with the government after being used for your husband's bail money. Reps for neither Simmons nor Lee immediately responded to People's request for comment. Alright, so this situation is crazy. We're talking about $44 million. We're not talking about 1K, 15K, 20K. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be found somewhere stanking over $50, right? We're talking about $44 million to help your current husband avoid jail time. That's crazy that you would take that money from Russell, right? And I understand that Russell needs to be held accountable for anything that he's allegedly done that was extremely inappropriate in regards to women, right? So, but at the same time, you know, right is right and wrong is wrong. You don't get to take $44 million from this man because your current husband is struggling, and at the same time he committed a crime and he's money laundering, and you decide to take Russell's shares to cover it. No, you're wrong for that. You don't take that man's money. That man worked hard for that money. You and him built that empire. And so if you needed money from Russell to help pay for your current husband's legal fees, all you had to do was ask. Now, he may have said no, but see, this is the thing, right? So if he said no and you still went behind his back, right, and, you know, stole his stock shares to help pay for your husband's legal fees, right, still, it comes off as, well, she did bring it to my attention that her husband needed this money. I said no, but at the same time, she still went behind my back and she stole the shares. But you didn't ask and you stole. So it just makes you look like you cannot be trusted. You cannot be trusted overall. Like, you didn't even bring it to his attention that he needed this money. You didn't even ask first before you decided to steal. And it's wrong to steal. There are two things that I can't stand in life when it comes to people. I can't stand a thief or a liar. But this is the thing. There's a little bit more respect if you came to me and you asked me, and then you still went behind my back and stole some shares, than just not asking me at all and stealing the shares on top of that. I'm just keeping it real. I'm still gonna get you. I'm still on your ass because you stole from me, But at the same time, I can respect you a little bit more because you asked me. You were upfront about the situation. No, you went behind this man back and you stole, thinking that Russell probably wouldn't catch on to it because he had so much money, and you were wrong. Now, what I want to do, guys, is play you guys a snippet of what Tim Leissner actually did. That's Kimora's husband, to, have to pay $44 million to avoid from going to jail back in 2018. So you guys sit tight and I'll be back to close the video momentarily.
And Goldman is kind of in the middle of this story.
Take us, there's one of the things I just said, I didn't know that the Department of Justice had a kleptocracy.
Well, it's a great title for a unit, right?
Exactly.
You look great on a business card. So it's a complicated story, and Goldman is kind of in the middle of this story. And basically, and so is Tim Leissner. If you go back to kind of how this all started, is Goldman Sachs raised about $6 billion for a Malaysian government-linked investment fund called 1MDB, and Leissner was the banker on that deal. Now, all those funds that Goldman raised then went into the fund that was controlled by Malaysia, also championed by the Malaysian Prime Minister.
And the purpose was for development projects in Malaysia.
Exactly. The fund...
Wheels, so to speak.
Yes.
No, it's supposed to be for legitimate development.
Right, for infrastructure, electricity, and things like that. Now, what happened is all that money went into the fund, and there started being calls that that fund was being mismanaged, that it was becoming too heavily indebted, that mysterious funds were showing up in the Prime Minister's bank account. So there's multiple investigations, including with the Department of Justice, to kind of figure out what happened if any of the funds in the Malaysian 1MBD were misappropriated or, by Malaysian-linked politically.
Now, why does the Department of Justice in the United States of America care what happens to a sovereign fund? Because as I recall, Kerry, correct me if I'm wrong, some of this money showed up. We don't know if it's this money. Lots of money showed up with really expensive apartments in New York City. I mean, off the charts.
So because they're driving up real estate values in New York, it's important to the DOJ?
Look, the Department of Justice has different ways that they can establish how they can get into these investigations. And one of those is if the money's moved through a U.S. bank account. Now, I can't confirm that for sure here, but it's probably very likely that the money moved through the U.S.
And one other aspect of the story, which is in your piece and was reported also when the bond deal originally happened, was that Goldman got ridiculously high fees for doing this bond deal. I mean,
what is ridiculously high?
Well, it's a sovereign-backed fund, so that it was basically a considered really safe credit. So normally you'd have a pretty low fee on that. I think it was like,
and that kind of fueled the fire in Malaysia on the backlash.
The number is $593 million.
It was about 9%, I believe, and at the time, and even now, that's significantly higher than you usually see for those types of bond deals.
And of course,
no, it's important. We don't know that Goldman's done anything wrong.
Absolutely.
It's important to say that.
And Mr. Leissner as well.
All right, so you guys heard that. You heard the details of what Tim Leissner did. And so that is why he needed $44 million to get out of jail and, avoid doing jail time, basically, in 2018 when he pleaded guilty for money laundering. So Kimora just felt that the stocks were accessible and that she was going to take care of it using Russell's dime, and she was wrong. And so this situation is going to get wild, and I expect it to get wild because that's $44 million that we're talking about. And so expect some nasty news to hit the airwaves, as long as this case is open. But anyway, I'm gonna let this thing go and let y'all have that in the comments. Drop down and let me know what you think about this entire situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll get with you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.